it's me, Chris Colley. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Rochester Hills, Michigan, and I am in the rubber room. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. I'm going to just take a second and make sure I'm in the right spot. You guys know this drill with me, right? Okay, sometimes I can go on from anywhere wondering where I am, and today we are going to be doing a card with some products in our new catalog. I am super excited that our new catalog is here. It actually will go live on May 3rd, which is going to be here before we know it. So that means that all of those retiring products that you had on your wish list for oh gosh, the last catalog, the 2021 to 2022 catalog, some of them which are on sale right now for up to 50% off. The second at midnight is your last chance to order those. So if you have some things still on your wish list, it's time for you to place that order. If you don't have a copy of the new catalog and you want one, just leave me a comment below and I will get one out to you. I did my first mailing out this morning. If you are a member of my club, then you will get one automatically with your order this month. Okay? So love this catalog, and I know you guys are going to love it too. I also am having my retirement party on Saturday, tomorrow. It's tomorrow from 1 to 5. So if you want a catalog, you could also, if you're in the area, come by and pick it up if you want to. So I am going to start off with sharing this designer series paper with you. This is a big pack of 12 by 12 paper, and it's all black and white. Now, sometimes I'm a fan of black white, or sometimes not. You have to have just kind of the perfect little combo with it. I love it with a bright red that pops it, or a bright royal blue that will pop it. But this pack is called Perfectly Penciled, and you get 12 pieces of paper. And those of you that know me know I love our designer series paper. So here's what happens. You have a page that looks like this on the front, and then it looks like this on the back. So here's the front, and then here is the coordinating piece that goes with it. Okay. Sometimes the hardest part about doing a project is trying to decide which side of the paper you want to use. I love these two. This would make masculine men cards. It is going to make masculine men cards. And then you can also pair it with this really feminine flower pattern. And then we have this one that is the black side. Kind of like little fawns and maybe some dandelion heads, and then this pretty flower paper on the back. So these flowers that are black and white, you can leave them that way. Look at this one, looks really good even with this one too. You can leave them black and white, especially black and white is really pretty if you're doing like a sympathy card with them. So here's the dotted with a little flower pattern on the opposite side of it. And then this one kind of looks like a little crayon. It looks like a white chalkboard with a little flower on it. And then we have the leaf stems to go with that one. And then we have this tiny flower, teeny tiny flower, and the stripes to go with that one. Now all of these will coordinate with each other just beautifully. This is the piece of paper that we're going to be using today. Okay, and what I did was I cut out just this big beautiful image here. All right, so I had to fancy cut it, but that's okay. It was an easy cut, and I think I also did that butterfly there too. And I did, just because it is Create with Chris live at lunchtime, I did already do a lot of the prep for you. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start with, this is called Strawberry Sorbet. And it is one of the new in colors. Each year, Stampin' Up! Retires a set of 5 colors and comes up with 5 new colors. And our 5 new colors this year are just absolutely gorgeous. I actually am going to be doing a in color club, which I will, tomorrow is the last day to sign up to join that. So I will put the details in the top of this post for that too. Okay, so we have a piece of sweet sorbet, and it is cut at 8.5 by 5.5 and scored on the 8.5-inch side at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to take my bone folder and give that line a little crease there. And then we do have our designer series paper that coordinates with the new in colors. So this is a piece of our designer series paper, and this one is cut 5 3/8 inches by 4 1/8 inch. Okay, and I am going to use the other side. I'm going to use this striped side of it. So let's put some adhesive just on the back here. Looks like I'm kind of out of the picture. I'm not sure what's happening here. You guys might be down too far. I never have a problem with this adhesive until I get on here to do my live. And then no matter what adhesive I've taken out to use, it will not work. There we go. See, I just have to badmouth it a little bit. It will work. So I'm just going to put this right in the middle. And you want to be careful because you only have a little bit of a trim on this one. So you want to be sure you get it right in the middle, which I did not. I did not get it straight. So I'm going to go back in and see if I can straighten it out a bit. Okay, that looks a bit straighter. I don't know why I'm falling off the edge. Let me see if I pull it back this way, if that will do it for you. This is just weird. I thought I got you all in the right spot. There, I'll pull my camera back. There, that helps a lot. Okay, so I am also going to be using this great frame. We have these new Fabulous Frames dies that are in the new catalog, and they are just gorgeous. This is one of them, and I used it to cut this frame. So I took my paper that is this size and then just laid this die right on top of it. And you can see it has this great little stitching in there. And they look like just little dots on here, but it's great, great stitching. And just so you get this nice detailed frame with it. So if you can see, you have all those little stitched lines, and then you have like a little straight line. So it actually looks like a picture frame. And then you can save this for something else. And these are the rest of the dies in here. This one, if you remember, I used last week. It's a really cool one. And then you have these like photo corners. So it would be really good for scrapbooking too. All right, so that is that one. And then I used this piece. And this is just a piece of Whisper or Basic White, and I used the Painted Texture 3D embossing folder. So that's this embossing folder, and I'll get it up there a little bit closer so you can see. It looks like wall paint. So I want that to go in the background under here so that it will actually look like kind of a textured piece of canvas maybe for an art project. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting my embossed image on there first. And I am going to really kind of saturate it with the Stampin' Seal because it is embossed, and so I want to get it to be sure it's going to really stick down there good. I think that's in the middle and straight. And then I'm going to put my frame on with some glue dots. Just because it's kind of thin to put my adhesive on. So I'm just going to use some glue dots. And put those on the edges. I hope you guys are all enjoying this Friday. It's actually very sunny here in Michigan. Beautiful. My husband and I went out this morning and we actually stopped at Starbucks. We never do that. I don't do caffeine at all, so I'm not really crazy about Starbucks, but people had been talking about the pink drink. So we went there for that. We were celebrating this morning because today is my husband's last day at work. Tomorrow morning on the 30th, he is officially retired. And this little stunt was brought about by COVID, and we shall see what it means for life in the rubber room. I don't know if I'm going to be spending more time down here or less time down here. He actually has lots of things planned for us. He's started buying concert tickets, and we even are renting a house in June so that our children can meet us there with our grandchildren and their spouses, and we're going to spend a long weekend together celebrating his retirement. So lots of things going on here. So I'm going to take one last check and make sure our card is opening in the right direction. And then I want to make sure my frame is going on straight. Looks like I'm more towards the top of my card. And being that we're using the glue dots, we have a little more wiggle room. I think this is going to be perfect. Let's see. Am I straight? I have to turn it towards me to look and see. It's hard to see straight when you're upside down. Okay. So you can see what a nice little framed look that has to it. And you can even pop your frame up on dimensionals. But I'm not going to on this one. And you'll see why in a minute. Let me take a look. Hi, Michelle. I hope you're back home in Michigan enjoying this sunshiny day. Hi, Monica. You guys are having some nice weather in Virginia, I hear. Okay, you missed the name of the DSP. It is penciled. Perfectly Penciled is the name of the DSP. So that's your answer, Kay. And it does look kind of like pencil. I think it looks more like chalkboard, but we'll see. They call it penciled, so I'm going with that. So I have taken that little piece through the magic of live, and I have colored it using my blends. To get this look, I used my So Saffron Dark for my flowers and Flirty Flamingo Dark for these flowers. These flowers are Sweet Sorbet Light, and then I use Granny Apple Green Light for my leaves. And this, I love the look, but it looks a little bit flat. Oh, and then I did my butterfly, and I used Flirty Flamingo and Saffron on my butterfly. It looks a little bit flat, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to highlight all of these so they have just a little bit more depth to them. So I'm going to use my Mango Melody, which is one shade darker than my So Saffron, and I'm going to use it in the middle of all of my flowers, and I'm also going to use it in the middle of my flamingo flowers. Okay, and then I'm going to go in on these flowers and I'm just going to darken it up where those lighter lines are. So you have some lines in there that are just shading lines, And that's where you want to put your dark color. And you can see how much that's going to pop those flowers, right? They're beautiful, that color, but when you add that second layer there, it's just a little bit darker, and it really looks more like a painting almost. So I'm just going to go in and darken up all of my saffron using my mango. And Stampin' Up! With it, they give you those lines and they make it really, really simple to get this just beautiful watercolor kind of look to it. So for my leaves, I'm going to go in with my Granny Apple Green Dark. So I'm going to use the same color, just in the dark. And when you buy these blends, they come in a 2-pack. They're $9 for a 2-pack, and there is a light one and a dark one. So you can see how those two colors are just going to blend together and really pop these leaves and the flowers as well. And I think it's just kind of a really fun, quick and easy way to get a lot of color and texture added in. When you do this, it makes them look almost 3D. And then I'm going to go in with my dark strawberry or sweet sorbet, my darkest sweet sorbet. And I'm going to use that in combination with my Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to show you a quick trick here with that. I'm going to come back in with my Flirty Flamingo while my sweet sorbet is still wet. And I'm just going to blend that out a little tiny bit more around the edges. So you can see we have a blunt end and a brush tip end. With all of our blends come that way. So you can do kind of little fine work, or you can give it a real quick big brush stroke. Okay, and then just quickly come back in. While it's still wet, and give it that little trim. Okay, and one of the other things that I like to do with my blends is a little thing called the flicking technique, okay? So I'm going to bring in, get everything out of the way because this can make kind of a mess. I'm going to bring in my blend, and this is my Flirty Flamingo blend. I'm going to put my brush tip end right in my cap. I'm holding it right against my cap. Let me move that out of the way so you can see. So I'm holding it right up against my cap, and then I'm gonna just flick it like this. So you can see I'm getting this really nice kind of spotted textured look on my paper. And so I'm gonna bring back in my card, and I'm going to do that. The higher up you hold it, the less speckles you're going to get, the fewer speckles. And I'm going to put these flowers on there, so there's not going to be a whole lot of room on there anyways that you're actually going to see. But it gives you these great little kind of textured spots on there. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. So you can see all those little kind of specks on it. And then I'm going to bring in my flowers, and they're going to go on there. So I can see I still want a little bit more speckled on this side. So I'm going to bring that back in and just kind of give it a little bit more. This is really fun to do with your Wink of Stella. You get that really nice kind of shimmery pop all over the edges with your Wink of Stella on it. Okay, so I'm going to use my all-purpose liquid glue. And I'm going to put that on the back of the flower piece that I cut out. See, it's a glue thing with you guys, right? I'm sure that this has lots of adhesive in it, but for some reason it just is not coming out. So let's try another one. It's not just my tape, it's every adhesive I own. When I turn Facebook on, my adhesives go dry. Okay, here we go. And that's not the worst thing in the world because I have lots of adhesive, so no biggie. But I know you guys are very forgiving also when I mess up, so you don't mind that there's no, I completely forgot this spot right here. Adhesive coming out. I'm sure that's happened to all of us more than once. I especially like it like when I'm going on a craft weekend and I get there and realize that I've only brought one adhesive with me. That's always nice, right? Okay, so we're gonna put this one on, and I think I'm gonna go kind of this way with it. Maybe a little more like this. Just gonna press them down. That anywhere glue is best after it gets a little bit tacky. Okay, so here's what we have so far. And you guys, doesn't that, let me see if I can find that one that I cut out to share with you. Of course I cannot, but look at what a difference, there we go, the coloring of the paper makes. Doesn't it make such a huge difference? There we go. I think it's just so beautiful. And I like it black and white, but I also really like it when it's colored. Okay, so because I had my blends out and I liked coloring, I took our Whisper White crinkle ribbon. It's crinkled as seam binding ribbon. And I colored it with my Sweet Sorbet blend. And I love the white ribbon, and it goes great with this whole pack of paper, but I like to turn it colors too. So when you do that, when you color it, it gets a little bit stiff. I don't know if you can see the difference when I shake it, how soft this one is compared to this one. So I'm just going to take my snips, hold them sideways, put my ribbon on, and put my thumb on top of my ribbon, just lightly, and pull it through. That's going to help to break down the fibers so that I can get a good tie on it. I'm also going to bring in a piece of my twine, and I do the same thing with my twine because when I unroll my twine, see how bouncy and curly it is? And that's not really conducive to tying a good bow. So I'm going to do the same thing and just put it on top of my paper snips and pull it through. And you can see how nice and straight that made it. Well, it made it straighter. It didn't make it completely straight, but it made it straighter. Easier to tie a bow with. And I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to leave that there, because what I'm going to do with my ribbon is I'm going to tie a twofer ribbon, which means I want 2 loops with it. Okay, so I'm going to go around my 3 fingers, held just slightly apart, twice. Okay, let's make sure I got it kind of in the middle there. And then I'm going to pull it off my fingers and grab it right in the middle. Okay. So I think this one needs to be a little bit tighter. Okay. And this one, you just have to play with it to get them where you want them. There, I think that's going to be good. All right, so then I'm going to come in with my twine and pull it tight right where my finger is in the middle of the ribbon. And before I get it too tight in there, I'm going to pull my finger out. Maybe I'm going to. There we go. And then pull it the rest of the way tight. Okay? So you can see I have this 2-loop bow. I'm going to pull this one down behind, just play with it a little bit, and get them all the same size that I want. And this is easy to do with just your finger on the top there. This one I want bigger, and this one I think I want smaller. There we go. So I'm going to take my twine on the top. Let's my card out of the way so you can see. So I have my 2 loops on each side for my bow. And then I'm going to take my twine on top and I'm going to do my little bunny ear bow with that. So you're actually going to have kind of like a triple bow. So you'll have 2 with the ribbon that you colored, and then 1 with your twine that's going to go right on top of it. Okay? So I'm just going to pull that a little bit. Get them all nice and tight where I want them. And then I'm going to make my twine one just a little bit smaller than the other 2. Okay, so you have this really pretty ribbon bow that's going to look like this. And I want that one just a little smaller. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and trim off my tails. Let's see how long I want these to be. I think I'll wait and put that on the card and then trim those little tails off. And I'm going to put it on my card with a glue dot. Okay, so where did my glue dots get to? Put a glue dot on the back and I'm going to put it right up here in this corner. I'm going to pull that twine just a little bit. And we'll come in and trim these ends of our ribbon up. Yeah. This seam binding gives you such a nice texture because it just looks so soft. Okay, so there we go. And I did cut out this little butterfly. I think that it's just too big, so I think I'm gonna toss that idea. Let me see. I guess I like it like that. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment and let me know if you like that butterfly or not. And I'm gonna use some of these glossy dots. These dots are beautiful, aren't they? That gorgeous grape looks like I could just, it's so yummy. And I love all of these colors. I really, really do. But these yellow ones are gonna go in the middle of my 3 big flowers. So I'm gonna take the biggest dot. They come in 3 sizes, kind of a small, medium, and large. Let's see. They really aren't that hard to get off there. There we go. So this is the large one. And here's the medium one. And here's the small one. I really think I'm going to need. There's the small one. Okay. So on my sample card, I used some of the brass butterflies, which I think are really, really pretty. But I kind of am liking this one too. So I think I'll just pop that on there with a dimensional. Let me see, did anybody say, I'm in love with that butterfly, Chris? You better put it on there. Michelle says she likes the butterfly. Margie says, keep the butterfly. All right. So you guys win. I'm glad you guys are here to help me through these hard decisions, right? Okay, so let's bring in some dimensionals. Hey, Margie, I'm glad you're here. I haven't seen you in a while. I know it gets to be your working weekends and all of that, so hopefully I'll get to see you back at a class or a team meeting soon. Okay, so I'm going to put the butterfly right there. And there's your card. How fun. I'm glad you guys like it. And it's quick and easy. I've only been here a half an hour, so it's like a 20-minute card after you do all the coloring, but I like to color. I find it very, very relaxing, so I do a lot of coloring. So here's our card with the butterfly from the penciled papers, and then the one with the brass butterfly. And again, these are called Perfectly Penciled. So it's the Perfectly Penciled DSP. The Sweet Sorbet New In Color. The Glossy Dots Assortment. The Painted Texture Embossing Folder. The Fabulous Frames Dies. You guys are going to see this one a lot because this is one of my favorite ones. I think every video I've done with a new product has used at least one of these. And then, of course, the white crinkle seam binding. And lots of blends here. So thanks for tuning in, you guys. I will go ahead and add my link in the top of this page for you, and a reminder about the catalog and the In Color Club that's gonna start May 5th will be my first order for the In Color Club. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Okay, I'm back to